Well, I think it's time to go back to the West Coast for the Apple special event where Andy Jordan is standing by and waiting to tell us everything. Andy, what have we learned so far?
Well, Apple likes to come out at the beginning of these events and tout statistics. And one in particular that jumped out at me is that Apple has sold more iPads last year than any PC manufacturer sold of their entire PC line worldwide. And that was leading into the announcement of the new iPad, which they're just getting into as we speak right now. Of course, Tim Cook, Apple CEO, is up on stage. And what we're hearing from our reporter, Ian Scher inside, is that the new Retina iPad has higher resolution than Apple's projector. So, that's something that we were expecting.
It's called the Retina iPad. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm hearing from Ian. I think they're just announcing it right now. So no firm word on whether or not it's called the Retina display, but that's what we were expecting. A Retina display to be sort of twice the resolution of the current iPad 2. And that's Phil Schiller, who's the senior vice president, as you may know, of worldwide marketing at Apple, is showing off the new iPad right now. It's the same screen size. It has the Retina display, and so far they're just calling it the new iPad. They haven't announced if it's going to be called the iPad HD or the iPad 3. As of now, they're just calling it the new iPad.
Okay, and we had hopes that it was going to have some 4G capability. We heard more about that.
Well, it's what I'm hearing, 264 PPI, enough to call the iPad a Retina display. It's far enough out that the eye can't distinguish the pixels, which is also something that we were expecting. So they're living up to the anticipation in that regard.
Do we have any news on pricing yet? How much is this going to cost and when we're going to be able to buy it?
Not yet. They haven't gotten to that point. The anticipation going into this is that the pricing was going to stay the same. No word. They're still calling it the new iPad. Our reporter Jessica Basilero inside is saying they're still calling it the new iPad, and perhaps that it may not have a model number.
Wow, may not have a model number. That's bold. Now there was some talk earlier when we talked with Jeff Fowler about other products, maybe something on the Apple TV. Anything on that yet, or is that still being waited for?
They did announce earlier same $99 price for the Apple TV. It will be available next week. And it has a more app-like user interface is what the early word that we were saying. They announced that early on in the event this morning.
And what is the mood like? What sense are we getting of the mood? I know these things are always shrouded in mystery and frequently there's a lot of excitement. What is it like this time?
I have to say it's fairly muted out here. It's very efficient how they shuffle people in and out, and they were in very quickly. And there's really nobody behind me. There are a lot of people gathering around to hear what I have to say now out here. The people that are not inside, but it doesn't have that usual atmosphere of a consumer-facing Apple event, of course, where you have the fanboys out and all that kind of. This is largely media today, and so it's very efficient and very orderly.
Okay, and well, media and efficient and orderly. That somehow I find hard to keep in my head at the same time. How's Tim Cook doing? What's the verdict so far on how he's looking?
I haven't heard from our reporters inside. That is something that, of course, we're looking for today. This will be, I believe, his third event presenting. Of course, he presided over the presentation of the iPhone 4S and the unveiling of the Verizon capability for the iPhone. So a lot of eyes are going to be looking at what Tim Cook, how he handles himself today, and what his presentation is like. Of course, he has he's coming off of having to live up to Steve Jobs' presentations, and so that is something we're looking for today. So far, we haven't heard how he's doing inside.
Okay. Well, it sounds all very exciting. Is that a picture of it I'm seeing on our streaming stories thing? That's the new iPad. We're seeing a picture of it there on streaming stories there on WSJ.com. So clearly we've got that picture. That picture is from inside the Apple event. Oh, it moved away. Okay. Well, you can get there it is. There it is. Slightly under the bend. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, Andy Jordan.